First Contact Deception. Commander Sarah Chen stood at the observation deck of the Earth science vessel Curiosity, her expression deliberately crafted to show the perfect mix of wonder and apprehension as the massive Viridian cruiser approached. The ship's bioluminescent hull pulsed with cyan energy, a display of technological superiority that would have been impressive if it wasn't so predictable. "They're hailing us again, Commander," Lieutenant Rodriguez reported, his voice carrying the carefully rehearsed nervousness of a species encountering advanced alien life for the first time. "Standard frequencies, just like the protocol suggested." "Accept the transmission," Chen ordered, straightening her purposefully outdated uniform. The holographic display flickered to life, revealing the towering form of Ambassador Zixtal. The Viridian's segmented exoskeleton shimmered with bioluminescent patterns, a sign of their supposed evolutionary superiority. "Greetings, humans," the ambassador's translated voice echoed through the bridge. "We have been monitoring your civilizations, attempts at space travel. Your persistence, despite your technological limitations, has caught our attention." Chen fought back a smile. The Viridians had been watching exactly what Earth wanted them to see: carefully staged launches, deliberate engineering failures, and broadcasts highlighting humanity's supposed struggles with basic space travel. Meanwhile, deep beneath the surface of Mars, quantum laboratories were perfecting technology that would reshape the understanding of physics itself. "We're honored by your presence, Ambassador," Chen replied, letting a slight tremor enter her voice. "We've only recently achieved faster-than-light travel, though our methods are primitive compared to your magnificent vessels." The ambassador's bioluminescent patterns shifted in what the Earth intelligence identified as a gesture of smug satisfaction. "Indeed, your nuclear fusion drives are centuries behind our quantum fold technology. However, the Viridian Empire believes in uplifting promising species. We offer you protection, guidance, and eventually, a place among the civilized galaxies." Behind Chen, the bridge crew maintained their facades of awe and gratitude. None of them revealed that the Curiosity's apparent fusion drives were merely elaborate props, concealing the quantum displacement engines that made Viridian technology look like children's toys. "Your generosity overwhelms us," Chen managed, bowing slightly. "Though such an important decision would require consultation with Earth's United Council." "Consultation." The ambassador's patterns pulsed with amusement. "My dear Commander, perhaps I wasn't clear. This isn't an offer, it's a notification. The Viridian Empire has claimed this sector. Your species will submit to our protection, or face consequences." Chen's expression fell, exactly as planned. I understand, Ambassador. Please, allow me to contact Earth's Council. They should hear this directly from your esteemed self." As the transmission ended, Chen's posture changed completely. Gone was the nervous commander of a primitive vessel. In her place stood the calculated leader of humanity's most elaborate deception. "Send the quantum burst to command," she ordered, her voice sharp and confident. "The Viridians have taken the bait, exactly as the social models predicted." Deep beneath the Martian surface, in a facility that didn't officially exist, Fleet Admiral James Zhang received the transmission. Surrounding him, the quantum computing core processed data from thousands of hidden sensors throughout the galaxy, tracking every movement of the Viridian Empire's forces. "They never learn," Zhang mused, studying the holographic display of Viridian fleet movements. "Every species they've uplifted has been stripped of resources and reduced to slave labor. They actually believe their bioluminescent technology represents the peak of evolution." Dr. Elena Patel, head of quantum physics, approached with the latest simulation results. "The containment field is ready, Admiral. Once activated, their quantum fold drives will be useless. They won't even understand why." Zhang nodded, remembering the day, 15 years ago, when humanity had first detected the Viridian Empire's expansion. Instead of revealing their true capabilities, Earth's leaders had chosen a different path. They would appear weak, primitive, and perfect for exploitation. until the moment was right. "Begin Phase 2, Zhang commanded. "Let's show the galaxy that humanity doesn't need uplifting. We've been waiting in the shadows, planning this moment for 15 years. It's time to teach the Viridian Empire that true advancement comes from innovation, not subjugation." As the quantum burst carried his orders across the solar system, hundreds of hidden human vessels prepared to shed their primitive disguises. The game of deception was ending. The real demonstration of power was about to begin. Commander Chen, aboard the Curiosity, received the confirmation signal. "Prep the quantum core," she ordered. "When the Viridians return, they'll learn that humanity isn't seeking admission to their empire. We're here to dismantle it." The bridge crew worked with practiced efficiency, their earlier performances replaced by the precise movements of Earth's elite operators. Soon, the galaxy would understand that humanity had never been primitive. They had been patient, preparing, and watching. The age of Viridian dominance was about to end, not with a battle, but with the revelation that humans had surpassed them long ago. They just hadn't bothered to show off about it. The silent veil falls. Ambassador Zixel's return transmission arrived exactly when Earth's behavioral models predicted. The Viridian Empire had never been known for its patience. "Your council has had sufficient time to process our generosity." The ambassador's translated voice carried thinly veiled threat. "The protection fleet arrives within the hour. Prepare for integration into the Empire." Commander Chen watched as her tactical display tracked the approaching Viridian warships, their bioluminescent hulls creating a spectacular light show against the void. Behind them, their quantum fold drives left distinctive ripples in spacetime, ripples that human sensors had learned to detect decades ago. "They're bringing 12 dreadnoughts," Lieutenant Rodriguez reported, his earlier nervousness replaced by clinical precision. "Standard Imperial subjugation fleet, just like Proxima IV and Ta Siti." Chen opened a secure quantum channel to Mars Command. "Admiral Zhang, they're following the textbook. Permission to proceed with Protocol Omega." "Granted, Commander." Zhang's holographic form materialized on the bridge. "All hidden fleet elements are in position. Show them what humanity has been hiding." Chen allowed herself a moment to appreciate the historic significance of what was about to unfold. "Bridge crew, disengage civilian protocols. Activate true ship configurations." The transformation was subtle at first. Across the solar system, hundreds of seemingly primitive human vessels began to change. Quantum-engineered metamaterials shifted at the molecular level, revealing sleek, obsidian hulls that absorbed light rather than reflecting it. The Curiosity's false fusion drives retracted, exposing the true quantum displacement engines that had been hidden beneath. On the Viridian command ship, alarms began blaring as their sensors detected the impossible changes occurring before them. "What deception is this?" Ambassador Zixel demanded, his bioluminescence flashing chaotic patterns of confusion and rage. "Deception." Chen smiled, no longer playing the role of an awestruck primitive. "Consider it a lesson in humility, Ambassador. While you were watching our carefully staged rocket launches, humanity was building something far beyond your understanding." The Curiosity's quantum core hummed to life, its power signature finally unveiled. Around the solar system, other human vessels did the same, creating a complex web of quantum fields that encompassed the entire Viridian fleet. "Impossible," Zixel sputtered. "Your species barely achieved spaceflight. Our scouts monitored your development for years." "They've monitored what we wanted them to see," Chen corrected. "Every failed launch, every primitive satellite, every struggling colony ship, all elaborate props in humanity's greatest performance. We knew you were coming, Ambassador. We've known about the Viridian Empire's pattern of uplifting and exploitation for decades." On Mars, Admiral Zhang watched as the quantum field web stabilized. "Dr. Patel, demonstrate to our guests why true advancement requires more than just impressive light shows." Alina Patel's team activated the quantum disruption sequence. Instantly, the Viridian ship's bioluminescent systems began to flicker and fade. Their quantum fold drives, the pride of their empire, fell silent. What? What are you doing to our ships? Zixtal's translator barely managed to convey his mounting panic. We're showing you real quantum manipulation, Chen explained, almost professorial in her tone. Your fold drives work by brute-forcing quantum states. Our technology works by understanding them. The field surrounding your ships is shifting quantum probability itself. Your drives can't function because the underlying physics within the field follows our rules, not yours. The Viridian dreadnoughts, mighty symbols of their empire's power, hung powerless in space. Their weapons, dependent on the same quantum fold technology as their drives, remained silent. Humanity never needed your protection, Ambassador, Chen continued. We needed you to believe we did. While your empire was busy subjugating primitive species, humanity was quietly advancing beyond anything you thought possible. We hid our true capabilities not out of fear, but because we were preparing for this moment. Admiral Zhang's hologram addressed the ambassador directly. The age of Viridian exploitation ends today. Right now, across the galaxy, other human ships are revealing themselves near every major Viridian fleet. The quantum web we've created doesn't just disable your technology. It reveals the truth about your empire's technological foundation. You're bluffing, Zixtal accused, but his bioluminescent patterns betrayed his uncertainty. No species could achieve this level of technological advancement in secret. That's your empire's fundamental weakness, Ambassador, Chen replied. You believe that progress must be visible, that advancement must be displayed. Humanity chose a different path. We advanced in silence, studied in secret, and prepared in shadow. As if to emphasize her point, more human ships emerged from quantum displacement, their obsidian hulls forming a perfect containment sphere around the Viridian fleet. Each vessel represented decades of hidden progress, years of patience, and the culmination of humanity's greatest deception. Now, Chen's voice carried the weight of history. Shall we discuss the terms of the Viridian Empire's immediate withdrawal from Earth space? And after that, perhaps we can have a real conversation about uplifting species, starting with the worlds your empire has enslaved. The silence that followed was broken only by the subtle hum of quantum engines, a sound that would soon become very familiar to a galaxy discovering that humanity had never been primitive at all. They had simply been waiting for the right moment to step out of the shadows. Echoes of revolution. News traveled faster than light across the galaxy, carried by quantum channels that humanity had secretly established years ago. The Viridian Empire's supposedly unassailable fleet, trapped and powerless in Earth's solar system, became a symbol that ignited the spark of revolution. Admiral Zhang stood in the Mars Command Center, watching as reports flooded in from across known space. The holographic display showed dozens of systems where subjugated species had risen up against their Viridian overlords, emboldened by humanity's demonstration of resistance. The Centaurians have already reclaimed 3 systems, Dr. Paddle reported, her fingers dancing through quantum data streams. They've been reverse engineering scrapped Viridian tech for decades. Once we showed them the weaknesses in quantum fold technology, they adapted quickly. Zhang nodded, studying the strategic overview, and the Arcturus Collective. Already liberated, Lieutenant Commander Marcus Chen, Sarah Chen's brother, replied from his station. The Viridian forces there surrendered the moment our hidden ships revealed themselves, apparently watching their supposedly invincible technology fail in Sol's system was quite convincing. On the diplomatic front, Commander Sarah Chen found herself facing a very different Ambassador Zixtal. Gone were the pompous declarations of superiority. The Viridian's bioluminescent patterns now pulsed with the colors of uncertainty and fear. You don't understand what you've done, Zixtal warned, his translator struggling to convey the complex emotions in his voice. The Empire maintained order. Without our guidance, the galaxy will descend into chaos. Order through subjugation isn't order at all, Chen countered, bringing up holographic displays of celebrating species across the galaxy. Look at them, Ambassador. The Centaurians, The Arcturians, the Proximan Collective, they didn't need your guidance. They needed freedom to develop on their own terms. Deep in the Viridian Empire's home system, another human vessel shed its disguise. The Prometheus, commanded by Captain Maya Patel, Alina's sister, revealed itself in the heart of enemy territory. Its quantum systems had already mapped every defense, every weakness, and every potential threat. This is Captain Patel of the Earth vessel Prometheus to Viridian High Command. Maya broadcast on all frequencies. Your exploitation ends today. We've already transmitted quantum encryption protocols to every species you've subjugated. They can now communicate and coordinate without your interference. The response came from Supreme Commander Ixel, the highest authority in the Viridian military. You speak of freedom, human, but you've orchestrated the largest coordinated attack in galactic history. How are you any different from us? Maya's response was measured, calculated. The difference, Supreme Commander, is that we're not here to rule. Every piece of technology we've shared has one purpose: to help these species defend themselves. What they do with that freedom is their choice. Back in Sol System, Dr. Patel's team monitored the quantum web's effect on Viridian technology. It's fascinating, she told Admiral Zhang. Their entire technological base assumes that quantum states can only be manipulated through brute force. They never considered that working with quantum probability rather than against it could be so much more effective. Their entire empire was built on the same principle, Zhang observed. Brute force, subjugation, rather than cooperation. They never imagined that a species might advance faster by hiding their progress. The rebellion spread like wildfire through the galaxy. Species that had been uplifted by the Viridians discovered that their oppressors' technology wasn't as incomprehensible as they'd been led to believe. Human quantum mechanics provided a new framework for understanding the universe, one that didn't rely on Viridian principles. Commander Chen received a priority transmission from the Centaurian Resistance. Their leader, First Speaker Call, appeared as a holographic projection on the Curiosity's bridge. The human spoke truth, Catal announced to his people and others listening across the galaxy. We were never lesser beings needing guidance. The Viridians simply convinced us we were. With human quantum theory, we've already adapted our crystalline technology beyond anything the Empire achieved in centuries. Similar reports came in from other species. The Arcturians' plasma drive systems, when modified with human quantum principles, achieved efficiency levels that made Viridian fold drives look primitive. The Proximan Collective's solar harvesting technology, freed from imperial restrictions, began producing energy on scales that transformed their society overnight. You've destroyed generations of progress, Ambassador Zixtal accused. Watching this, his empire crumbled. Countless species brought into harmony under Viridian guidance, now lost to chaos. No, Ambassador, Chen corrected, bringing up displays of various species already beginning to cooperate, share technology, and form new alliances. We've freed them to make their own progress. Look closely. They're not descending into chaos. They're building something new, something better. Admiral Zhang received word that the Viridian High Council was requesting an emergency conference. They're starting to understand, he told his staff. Humanity didn't just overcome their technology. We proved their entire philosophy wrong. Real advancement doesn't come from subjugation. It comes from innovation, cooperation, and the freedom to choose one's own path. As the galaxy reshapes itself, humanity's greatest deception proved to be more than just a strategic victory. It was a revolution in thinking that would transform civilizations for generations to come. The age of empire was ending, and an era of true cooperation was about to begin. The price of pride. Supreme Commander Ixel stood before the Viridian High Council, his bioluminescent patterns pulsing with the deep crimsons of rage and determination. We cannot allow these humans to destroy everything we've built. I propose activating the Omega Protocol. In Earth's Quantum Intelligence Center, Dr. Alina Patel's systems detected the energy spike immediately. Admiral Zhang, they're powering up something massive in the Viridian home system. something we've never seen before. Zhang studied the quantum readings with growing concern. Analysis. They're channeling power from every remaining Viridian installation in the galaxy, Elena reported, her hands moving through holographic data streams. The energy signatures suggest they're trying to create a massive quantum fold disruption. They mean to tear the galaxy's quantum fabric itself. On the Curiosity, Commander Sarah Chen received the emergency broadcast. They're desperate enough to risk destroying everything. She realized, watching as her tactical displays showed Viridian ships across the galaxy powering down to feed energy into their final weapon. Ambassador Zixtal's transmission carried an edge of grim satisfaction. "You've forced our hand, humans. The Omega Protocol will reset the galaxy's quantum state. Every advancement you've made, every technology you've shared, all of it will be wiped away. The galaxy will return to its natural order." But humanity had prepared for even this possibility. Deep beneath Mars' surface, in a facility that didn't officially exist, Dr. Patel activated Project Guardian, humanity's ultimate failsafe. They never understood, she told Zhang as the quantum core spun up. They think quantum states can only be forced or reset. They never learned to work with quantum probability itself. Across the galaxy, hidden human quantum nodes activated. Each one had been secretly installed years ago, waiting for this moment. They began weaving a complex web of quantum stability, creating safe zones that would protect allied species from the Viridians' desperate gambit. Captain Maya Patel, aboard the Prometheus in Viridian space, witnessed the Omega Protocol's activation firsthand. The massive energy construct began to pulse, sending waves of quantum disruption across spacetime. "They're trying to rewrite physics itself," she reported back to Earth. "But they still don't understand. You can't force quantum probability. You have to guide it." The Viridian weapon reached full power, its energy signature visible to even primitive sensors across the galaxy. Supreme Commander Ixal's voice echoed across all frequencies. "Watch as your revolution ends, humans. The natural order will be restored." The Omega Protocol fired, sending a cascade of quantum disruption through space. But where it met humanity's quantum stability web, something unexpected happened. Instead of destroying advanced technology, the disruption wave was caught, channeled, and redirected. "Now, Elena," Zhang commanded. Dr. Patil activated the final stage of Project Guardian. The quantum web didn't just resist the Viridian attack. It absorbed it, using the massive energy release to strengthen itself. Each node in the human network acted as a quantum probability anchor, stabilizing local spacetime against the chaos the Viridians tried to unleash. "Impossible." Ixal raged as his readings showed the Omega Protocol failing. "No technology can withstand this level of quantum disruption." "That's where you're wrong," Maya transmitted from the Prometheus. "We're not fighting the disruption. We're working with it. Quantum probability flows like water. Try to dam it up, and it will eventually break through. Work with its natural patterns, and it becomes a source of power." The Viridians watched in horror as their ultimate weapon was not only neutralized but transformed. The energy they had gathered from across the galaxy was redistributed through humanity's quantum web, strengthening the very technologies they had tried to destroy. Commander Chen opened a channel to all allied species. "What you're witnessing is the fundamental difference between forcing control and embracing cooperation. The Viridians tried to reset the galaxy to maintain their power. Instead, they've only proven why that power was built on a flawed foundation. In the aftermath, the Viridian Empire's last desperate gambit became a symbol of why their approach to the galaxy had been doomed from the start. The species they had tried to subjugate now stood as equals, their combined wisdom and technology proving far more powerful than any single empire's attempt at dominance. Admiral Zhang addressed the gathered fleet commanders from across the galaxy. "Today marks the end of an era, not just the end of the Viridian Empire, but the end of the belief that progress must come through force. Together, we've proven that true advancement comes from understanding, cooperation, and respect for the natural flow of innovation. As the quantum disruption faded, absorbed into humanity's stabilizing network, the galaxy found itself transformed. Not by force, as the Viridians had intended, but by the very cooperation they had fought so hard to prevent. The age of empires was truly over. The age of understanding was about to begin. Dawn of a new era. 1 year after the failure of the Omega Protocol, the former Viridian capital world of Luminara hosted an unprecedented gathering. Representatives from every known spacefaring species converged in the grand chamber that had once housed the Imperial High Council. But this was no victory celebration. It was the first meeting of the Galactic Cooperation Summit. Commander Sarah Chen, now Earth's diplomatic liaison, stood at the podium where Ambassador Zixtal had once proclaimed Viridian superiority. The chamber's bioluminescent architecture still pulsed with light, but now it worked in harmony with human quantum technology, creating displays of breathtaking beauty that symbolized the merger of different technological approaches. A year ago, many of us stood on opposite sides of a divide. Chen began, addressing the assembled delegates. Some were conquerors, others conquered. Some hid their true nature, others flaunted false superiority. Today we meet as equals, each bringing unique perspectives to our shared future. In orbit above Luminara, the Curiosity floated alongside ships from 24 species. Its quantum systems now worked in concert with Centaurian crystalline technology and Arcturian plasma drives, creating new hybrid technologies that surpassed anything any single species had achieved alone. Dr. Elena Patel presented the latest findings from the Combined Research Initiative. The quantum stability web we created to counter the Omega Protocol has evolved beyond our expectations, she explained, bringing up a holographic display of the galaxy. As different species add their own technological innovations, it's becoming a galaxy-wide network for sharing knowledge and resources. Former Supreme Commander Ixal, now the representative of the reformed Viridian Collective, rose to speak. His bioluminescent patterns showed humility, a color combination rarely seen in Viridian history. My people's greatest error wasn't technological, he admitted. It was believing that progress could only come through control. In 1 year of cooperation, we've achieved more than centuries of empire building ever did. He was right. The integration of human quantum mechanics with Viridian bioluminescent technology had revolutionized communication. Centaurian crystal matrices, once restricted by imperial doctrine, now formed the backbone of a new faster-than-light travel network. The Arcturians' plasma engineering, combined with human quantum probability manipulation, was terraforming once uninhabitable worlds. Admiral Zhang, watching from Mars Command, saw the fulfillment of humanity's long-term strategy. We hid our advancement not just to protect ourselves, he told his staff, but because we knew the galaxy needed to change from within. If we had simply conquered the Viridians, we would have become what we sought to prevent. Captain Maya Patel, whose Prometheus had witnessed the Empire's final gambit, now commanded a mixed-species crew. Every day, we discover new applications for combined technologies, she reported. The Proximan engineers actually found a way to improve our quantum cores using principles from their solar harvesting systems. The greatest transformation, however, wasn't technological. Species that had been enemies for generations now worked together, each bringing their unique perspectives to solve common challenges. The Viridians' gift for biological engineering, freed from military applications, was revolutionizing medicine. Centaurian philosophy of crystal harmony enhanced humanity's understanding of quantum probability. We stand at a crossroads. Commander Chen continued her address. The old galaxy was built on competition and control. The new one will be founded on cooperation and consent. Every species here has something to teach and something to learn. She gestured to the holographic display, showing the growing network of quantum-enhanced trade routes, research stations, and cultural exchanges. Humanity hid its progress because we saw what the Empire's philosophy of forced advancement created. We chose a different path, not to rule, but to help create something new. Dr. Patel's team had made another breakthrough. The quantum web, originally designed to counter the Omega Protocol, had evolved into something far more significant. It's becoming a true galactic nervous system, she explained, not controlled by any one species, but responding to the collective wisdom and needs of all. The Centaurian first speaker, Call, whose people had suffered greatly under Viridian rule, addressed the summit. "We thought humanity would become the new empire," he admitted. "Instead, they showed us how to break the cycle of domination. Their greatest technology wasn't quantum mechanics. It was the idea that true power comes from lifting others up, not holding them down." As the summit concluded, the gathered representatives signed the Luminara Accords, a new framework for galactic cooperation. The document was simple but profound. Every species would develop at their own pace, share knowledge freely, and respect the sovereignty of others. Commander Chen stood with Ambassador Zixtel, no longer enemies, but partners in building something new. "Your people once offered to uplift humanity," she remarked. "In the end, we all uplifted each other." The former ambassador's bioluminescence showed agreement. "Perhaps that was the greatest deception of all," he mused. "Not your hidden technology, but the idea that any species needs to dominate others to progress." As ships departed Luminara, carrying delegates back to their homeworlds, the galaxy had been transformed, not through conquest or control, but through the simple, powerful idea that true advancement comes from working together. Humanity's greatest victory wasn't defeating the Viridian Empire. It was helping create something better in its place. The age of empires was over. The age of cooperation had begun. And somewhere in the vast darkness between the stars, other young civilizations were taking their first steps into space, preparing to join a galaxy far different from the one humanity had first encountered.